Hi students, today we are going to NEET 2019 on zoology topic. So first question, match the following organisms with their respective characters. So phyla, Bombyx, Pleurobankia, Taenia. So phyla, which will be mostly of the crustaceans, the mollusk families, and which will have a radula, and the Bombyx mori, which do have what kind of things? The correct answer for the first question, that is phyla, which is been for radula, and Bombyx mori, which is been a malpighian excretory organ, Pleurobankia, which has been like a comb plates, and Taenia solium, it's nothing but annelids, and which have the excretory organ like flame cells. So the option will be of A for 3, and B for 4, and C for 2, and Taenia for flame cells. So which of the following statement is correct? It is been given in a correct order. So cornea, which is a layer of an eye, so which consists of a dense connective tissue of elastin and can repair itself. It's now you have to choose which is the correct option among the four. So cornea is convex, transparent layer which is highly vascularized. The cornea consists of dense matrix of collagen and is the most sensitive portion of the eye. And cornea is an external transparent and protective proteinous covering of the eyeball. So in the first layer, it is a dense connective tissue, but it is elastin and it cannot able to repair itself. So cornea is a convex. So where it is been absent of it. So cornea consists of dense matrix of collagen fibers, not it is being connected of a collagen fibers. And the correct answer for this statement will be cornea is an external. So first layer, sclera, cornea and retina, the three layers of your eye, and which is very transparent, and it is a proteinous covering of the eyeball, not as an elastin covering or something else. It is a proteinous covering, and that's why we have been giving a correct answer for cornea. It will be external, which has been on outside, and transparent, and it is a protective proteinous covering of the eyeball. Next, Homo habilis. You just want to give the correct brain size of a human in due to the human evolution in chapters. So Homo habilis, Homo neanderthals, the word neanderthals, which states that it only have a highest number of brain size. And Homo erectus, Homo sapiens. We are the Homo sapiens, and before that it will be Homo sapiens. So the correct options for this will be Homo habilis, which will be have the range of 650 to 800 cc cubic meters. Homo neanderthals are already sold. It will be a larger one. So which is it's a larger one will be of 1400 cc. And Homo erectus, where the erected position of their body being started to come off, so it will be around 900. And Homo sapiens, other than Neanderthals, the next will becomes of Homo sapiens, which will be of 1350 cc. So the correct options for this will be this one. So Homo habilis, which is for 650 to 800, and Neanderthals, which is a larger one, which should have 1400 cc. Homo erectus, which should have 900, and the sapiens next to the Neanderthals, it will be a sapien size 1350. Select the hormone-releasing intra-uterine device. We already seen in the discuss question session that the link 20 is one of the hormone-releasing intra-uterine device. Other than that, so we already seen the multiload 375, it's not an hormone-releasing factor. Whereas progestat, it is an hormone releasing. So this two, progestat and link 20, these two are the hormone releasing intra-uterine device. And these hormones will inhibit the entry of the male sperms to be entered into the female uterine tract. Which of the following is true for the golden rice? We already been seen in the golden rice production. For what purpose? The golden rice, it's been produced for mainly to depend or to demolish the scarcity of the food, or to give a proteinous food to the people. So that's why the golden rice have been formulated by the production of, or by the recombinant DNA technological, or in the biotechnology application we have been seen it. So it is mainly for the vitamin A. We already know that, and that vitamin, it's been gene being coded for daffodil. So daffodil is a kind of gene which is being coded for the growth hormone and as well as for the protein. So this is the correct option for the golden rice. Why not? It has been a pest resistant with a gene from Bacillus thuringiensis. We already been seen Bacillus thuringiensis, it's for the BT cotton. And for that only, for killing the nematodes, it is being used for it. And it is a drought tolerant developed during agrobacterium vector. So agrobacterium vector, we didn't be used in it. And it has yellow grains because of a gene introduced to the primitive variety. It is not a primitive variety, but it is been the development of two wild varieties to give the best out of it. So it will be like vitamin A enriched with a gene daffodil coding for that. So that codes the gene to give the perfect vitamin A compound. Next, match the following organisms with the product they produce. They already been studied in the microbes in human welfare or microbes in household. So lactobacillus, from the name lacto, it is for your that is conversion of milk products. So it will be most probably for the curd. And Saccharomyces, which is been yeast, and we already been used this kind of yeast for dosa batter, and as well as in industries they for making for bread they have been using it. And Aspergillus niger, that is for the production of citric acid. And Acetobacter aceti, from the name aceti, it is like acetic acid synthesis. So Acetobacter aceti is for acetic acid. So it will be like lactobacillus for curd, A2. So A2, Saccharomyces yeast for bread, and it will be like 4. So then Aspergillus niger, we already seen, that is for citric acid, and Acetobacter aceti for acetic acid production. So the correct option will be of this. Following statement describe the characteristics of enzyme restriction endonuclease. We already been seen for what purpose the restriction endonuclease it's been formulated. So in a genes for a specific region, for a specific cutting, or for a DNA for specific site, we already been using restriction endonuclease, which has been otherwise called as molecular scissor. So we already know that it is for the cutting process. So the enzyme binds with DNA at a specific site and cuts only one of these two strands. So they have been asked for incorrect statement. So you just want to select what has been wrong in the given statement, and which statement is the wrong you have to be identified with. So the enzyme cuts the sugar phosphate backbone at a specific site on each strand. Exactly, it cuts on the both the sides of the sugar phosphate backbone. That is nothing but the nitrogenous base as well as the phosphate base. The enzyme which recognize a specific palindromic nucleotide sequence. So palindromic nucleotide sequence, we already been seeing what is it. Both the lines, that is 5' to 3' or 3' to 5' will be reading to the parallel strands. Like parallel sequences can be read off. So example, we have seen that Malayalam, which can be read from opposite direction also, the same wordings will become. So exactly it is a palindromic nucleotide sequence. So then the enzymes cut DNA molecule at identified position. Of course, it cuts only on the identified. So these three statements are correct regarding to the enzyme restriction endonuclease, and this one will be odd man out because enzyme nuclease, that is restriction endonuclease, will cut both the stands at specific site. So they have given only one of the two stand. That is not a correct option. So this one is correct one. Variation caused by mutation as proposed by Hugo de Vries. So we already been seen what is variation. So variation is mutation, sudden mutation or the mutation which is being carried out by the population. So which leads to random mating and frequency, random movements will be taken off. So it will be obviously random and it is directionless. It don't have a specific kind of direction. That's why only we have to go for the mutation. So it don't have a specific direction. So it is directionless and random. Small and directional, it's for Darwin. So you can see for Darwin, on the small population, it will be undergone. And both the small and the direction it will go. And random and directional is for Hugo de Vries, and it has been more specific for the randomless. So that is directionless. Next, tidal volume and expiratory reserve volume of the athletic, it's 500 ml and 1000 ml. So tidal volume will be 500 and respiratory volume will be 1000. So what will be his respiratory capacity if the residual volume is 1200 ml. So we already been see the expiratory capacity, it will be like tidal volume plus expiratory reserve volume. So if you conclude that is 500 plus 1000, so it will be like 1500 ml. So the option will be expiratory capacity will be of the tidal volume and expiratory reserve volume. So it will be of 1500 ml. Match the column 1 and 2. So first it's P wave. So P wave, which is nothing but the atria. So it is nothing but depolarization of atria. The first wave, that is depolarization of the atria. And QRS, which is a long wave, and that is another kind of, that is atria, that is atrium, and then to ventricle. So the depolarization of the ventricles will be of that PQ, that is QRS, which is a large complex, and T wave for nothing but it is mainly for the repolarization of ventricles. So the two parts, depolarization of atria and as well as the ventricles, and T, it's nothing but repolarization, that is it's been re-auditing or it's been coming to its original position. That's why it has been repolarization of the ventricles. And if there is reduction in the size T wave, that is repolarization of the ventricles is it's less, then it will lead to a disorder condition, that is nothing but coronary ischemia. Correct option for this will be fourth one. Respiratory coefficient value of a triplalmethin is 0.7. It's not 0.07 or 0.9 or 0.09. It will be of 0.7. We already been seen for amino acid respiratory coefficient for the fatty acids and for the proteins. It will be of 0.7. Which one of the following contraceptive method do not involve in a role of hormone? Do involve a role of hormone. So just read the question in a correct concept so that you can able to identify the answer for it. So the which of the following contraceptive do involve a role hormone? So we already been seeing the contraceptive methods. The role of the hormone is mainly used for the pills and as well as for the contraceptives, emergency contraceptives. So lactational, amenorrhea, pills, emergency contraceptives. That will be the correct answer for the role of hormones being involved in the contraceptive methods. Which one of the following equipment is essentially required for the growing microbes on a large scale for industrial production of enzyme? So this we already been seeing the bioreactors. So this large digester, it's for the primary treatment and industrial oven for the industries, and it is for mainly for the growing bioreactors. It's a main one for the growing of microorganisms. So that's why it has been very neat. That's why it is called bio. That is biologically related organisms can easily be grown on it. Both anaerobic and aerobic kind of bacteria can be grown in the such kind of reactors. Extrusion of second polar body from egg nucleus occurs. So the second polar body, so which will be occurs after the entry of sperms. So you can see that is in male, the two cells will be involved and one will be a smaller size, we call it as polar body, whereas other will be a larger size and that will be called as egg cells. So when it is on first meiosis one stage where the sperm will be entered into the second polar body after the enters, this before the fertilization events takes place. So the second polar body from the egg nucleus occurs after the entry of sperms but before fertilization, after the entry, and it goes for the reactions and then it gives us one egg cell, one large cells, and that will be the egg cell, and other small cells, and that will be a polar bodies which will be degenerates. So this we already seen in our discussed session, that is what triggers the activation of protoxin to Bt, activated Bt toxin by Bacillus thuringiensis by bullworms will be the alkaline pH. So what happens when the alkaline pH triggers the protoxin to be activated into active state, and that will be destroys the epithelial lining of the gut wall, and so the rupturing of the cells will be captured off. So this will be done on the alkaline pH. Which of the following is true for golden rice? We already been seen, and it is for vitamin A rich with gene for the daffodil. Which of the following features of genetic code does allow bacteria to produce human insulin? So we know the genetic code which is being ambiguous, and it is also one, and it is mostly nearly universal. So all the universe from India to America to other regions, all genetic codes, all sequence of the proteins will be the same, the universal. That's why amino acids have been arranged to it. And if there is, that is AUG, so this will be codes for methionine, and this is also a start codon. So this will be the universal code for each and every region. So it will be like universal. So that's why the recombinant DNA technology, not only for the production of human insulin, will be carried out by this process. Which of the following glucose transporters is insulin dependent? So 3, 2 and 1, these are all independent, and 4, it's only the dependent one. How does steroid hormones influence the cellular activity? So the steroid hormones, first it will be binds to the DNA, and after the DNA it will be forming a gene complex. So this is how it will be formed, or the cellular activity will be taken place, or the cell activity will be taken place. So it will be binding to the DNA and forming gene hormones complex. Match the following structure with the respective locations in organs. So crypts of Lieberhunds. So this, it's already been seen in the small intestines, and glycine capsule which will be seen on liver, slits of Langerhans where the alpha, beta and gamma or epsilon cells will be formed, which will be seen for the pancreas, and Brunner's gland can be seen will be on the duodenum, Brunner's glands on the duodenum. So consider the following features organ system level of organization. So we already been seen. The first will be the cell, a group of cells which forms a tissue, a group of tissue which form an organ, and a group of organ which forms an organ system, and so on will be. And so the animals or the proper system can be formulated into a human. So this is a cellular level of organizations. So bilateral. So it can be, that is good, can be separated into two equal halves. So bilateral symmetrical, true coelomate, the presence of coelom, that is body cavity, will be true and with segmentations. So all these possibilities can be seen. Annelids, definitely on the annelids can be seen. Arthropods, it's definitely can be seen. And mollusks, it is not bilaterally symmetrical, or it is not a true coelomate, where it is being found on the chordates, where the humans are the examples. Humans are bilateral symmetrical. So it will be of annelids, arthropods and chordata. Which part of the brain is responsible for the thermoregulation? So body homeostasis. So mainly the maintenance of the body temperature. All this function, it's been mainly being categorized by the hypothalamus. So this is incorrect option for the thermoregulation, body temperature maintenance. It has been done by that. Medulla oblongata, you already know, that is the respiration and the cardiovascular activities, and the cerebrum, which has been placing a vital role for the vision, and corpus callosum, which plays a hinge joint between the two regions, or being connective for the third and fourth ventricles. Due to increased air pollutants or airborne allergens and pollutants, many people in the urban areas have been suffering from respiratory disorders causing wheezing. So wheezing is being caused due to the bronchi, and the bronchioles will be getting inflamed, will be getting bulged off. So this is the one problem where they do get the wheezing problems. They find difficulty during the respiratory or the respiration process. So what is a genetic disorder? This is disorder. So which an individual has an overall masculine development, that is a masculine the kind of male characteristics features, and gynecomastia, which is being like enlarged breast formation, and it's sterility. So it is the sex linked disorders or the sex disorders which is of Klinefelter syndrome. Select the correct sequence of the organs in the alimentary canal of cockroach starting from mouth. So the mouth parts of the cockroach and as well as the morphology of the cockroach we already been studied. So already the first level of the alimentary canal will be stops of pharynx, esophagus, and then it have a specialized form called crop, which is for mainly in birds. It is been of different formations and the storage of the food materials, gizzards, ileum, colon and rectum, the foregut, midgut and hindgut divisions. So this will be the proper answer for that. The ciliated epithelium, so the lining will be of small cilia will be presented of. So it's for the movement or the passage or for the expansion for the running of the passage, that can be divided for the cilia or differentiate for the cilia. The ciliated epithelial cells require to move particles or the mucus in a specific direction. In human, these cells are mainly present in where you can be seeing. So in bronchus you will be seeing it, and as well as the fallopian tubes, where you will be seeing a small hair-like projections which the egg passage will be carried out. So it will be on the bronchus and as well as on the fallopian tubes. Which of the following is a commercially blood cholesterol lowering agent? So we already been discussed these types of questions. So the statin plays a vital role in the cholesterol lowering, making the cholesterol to be lower. So the commercial usage will be the statin. These are enzymes, and cyclosporin, you already know it is been for the usage of it. Match the following hormones with the respective diseases. So insulin, you can be seeing all these diseases only due to or kind of increases or kind of decreases on it. So insulin, it is more likely to be diabetes mellitus. Thyroxine, it is nothing but the iodine. So iodine plays a vital role in it. So the deficiency of iodine will be leads to the goiter, and the corticoids mainly for the addiction diseases, and growth hormone. Increase in growth hormone, we called it as acromegaly, which has been seen that giant kind of features or being modifications can be seen in it. So it will be on insulin for A. Which of the following immune response is responsible for rejection of kidney grafting? So the grafting methods, the T cells will play a vital role in the rejection process, and T cells, which is nothing but cell mediated. Select the incorrect statement. So read the statement and tell me which is then incorrect for it. So inbreeding is essential to evolve pure lines in any animals. So inbreeding, of course, it is been necessary for the pure lines. Inbreeding select harmful recessive genes that reduce fertility and productivity. So just keep it in the mind. Inbreeding helps in accumulation of superior genes and elimination of undesirable genes. Inbreeding increases homozygosity. So which will be more incorrect to this? So inbreeding, it be not selecting the harmful or recessive genes. It like to see the homozygosity increases, and the elimination of this accumulation of the superior genes, that is also will be correct. So inbreeding, it is nothing but it is a pure breeding factors, and once the F1 or F2 or in go on 4th to 6th generation, and there will be a probability of inbreeding depressions, and that too we can be eliminated by the usage of by the crossing over factors. So this will be promptly incorrect one. Which of the following can be used as a biocontrol agent for the treatment of plant diseases? So we already also seen in biotechnology principles and applications, that is trichoderma for the tobacco plant diseases. We can be eliminated by using this trichoderma as a biological control agent. So use of an artificial kidney during hemodialysis, it may result in So hemodialysis, you already know what is a purification, that is exchange or elimination of waste products to be eliminated by the artificial method. So nitrogenous waste built up in the body, non-elimination of excess potassium ions, reduced absorption of calcium ions and gastrointestinal tract, reduced RBC production. So this RBC production, it will not reduce it, and reduced calcium ions, this will also not be in the taken part. So it will be like the nitrogenous base buildup and as well as the elimination of the potassium ions. So that's why hemodialysis will be done for the patients who have been suffering from the kidney failures, or the artificial kidney transplantation peoples will be go off. So the option A and B are correct one. Which of the following factor is responsible for the concentrated urine? So mainly the concentrated urine, it's been made or been metabolized or been used for the hyperosmolarity, which is been during medullary interstitial cells. So you can see the kidney, and beyond the kidney you have been the adrenal gland, and the adrenal gland, the concentration, that is the medulla, the cortex and the medulla, outer region and the inner region, the medullary region, interstitial cells which have a hyperosmolarity process. So that is being responsible for the concentration of the urine matters. So next, select the correct sequences for the transport of sperm cells in male reproductive system. So first, it will be like a seminiferous tubules and Rete testis, vas efferentia, epididymis, vas deferens, ejaculatory duct, urethra and urethral meatus. So this option will be correct one. So you can see the next option also, seminiferous tubules, and then it comes of Rete testis. So it is been missing, so it is not a correct answer. So first it will not be comes to the testis, or then it will not for the testis. So this will be the correct answer for that. Select the correct option. So 11th and 12th pair of ribs are connected to the sternum with the help of hyaline cartilage. So you already know it is a floating rib. Each rib is a flat, thin bones, and all the ribs are connected dorsally to the thoracic and ventrally to the sternum. These are 7 pairs of verbosternal and 3 pairs of verbocontral and 2 pairs of vertebral ribs. So this is a correct answer for it. 8th and 9th, 10th pair of the ribs articulate directly to the sternum. So this won't be the correct one. Identify the cells whose secretion protects the lining of the gastrointestinal tract. So you can see the gastrointestinal tract, the lining, the enzymes lining will be protected by mainly by the goblet cells. So you already know what is the chief cells and duodenal cells and oxytonic cells is mainly made up of. So each and every cells will be given protection for the mucous layer, duodenal layer, and for the axial protections, and chief cells it's for the pancreas and main alpha beta hormonosynthesis. Select the correct group biocontrol agents. So which are the correct group of biological or biocontrol agents? Trichoderma, which already been seen in the tobacco, and bucolovirus, which will be already seen in the vector for the transmissions, and Bacillus thuringiensis for the Bt cotton, Oxytalia, Rhizobium, and Trichoderma, and this is for the symbiotic relationship. Nasdaq, Aspergillus, Neophytohydroviruses, and this is also for the vector synthesis. Tobacco mosaic virus and aphids, this is also for the, you can see it for the DNA or the RNA transcription or translation process. So the correct options will be the Trichoderma, Bucolovirus, Bacillus thuringiensis. Which of the following muscular disorders inherited, which is being passes from generations to generations? So what kind of will be inherited? Muscular dystrophy, myasthenia gravis, botulism, tetany. So muscular dystrophy, that is, you can see the stage between, that is down towards the abdominal, it will be like an paralysis condition. So muscular dystrophy, the loosening of the muscles or the it will be resulted, and it will be like a inherited or passes from the generation to generations. Drugs called heroin, it's been synthesized by acetylation of morphine. So glycolization will not be takes place, and nitration, it is a nitrifying bacteria will be takes place. Methylation will also not be takes place, like acetylation of morphine. So what would be the heart rate of a person if the cardiac output is 5 liters? Blood volume in the ventricles at the end of diastole is 100 ml, and the end of the ventricle systole will be 50. So you can see the cardiac output will be like stroke volume plus the systole volumes or the ventricular systoles. So you can see it is of 100 beats per minute. Concanavalin A is an lectin. So it is not an essential oil, and it is not a pigment, and it is not an alkaloid, it is a lectin. So thank you so much guys, and please do look after the answers and do the best. Thank you.